Hey, I'm Sith King.
And I'm Sonic Sons.
And we're the Rambling Reviewers.
And today we're looking at The Legend of Korra, Book 2, Episodes 7 and 8.
As part of our continuing Korra coverage.
Right, I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, dude, what the hell?
It's a good pun.
Anyway, so, yeah.
So
these two are probably my favorite two episodes of Korra out of both seasons combined.
Pretty much, yeah. I was thinking the same thing when I
think
watched it.
That's kind of sad considering it doesn't have any of the characters of Korra. It doesn't have any of the plot lines of Korra. So the only way Korra really works, in my opinion, is if they make it not Korra.
Today's episode of Korra will be Batman, the animated series.
Yes!
That would be
Awesome!
Yeah, that's a classic show. And just very kind of random, but you and I watched a bit of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the last time we met, and I was just thinking of how flat that feels compared to Batman in retrospect. You know, they're both from that same era, but you can write a show.
No. Batman, Turtles came out like about 5 or 6 years before Batman.
The same era.
Batman was like
within a decade.
Early 90s, yeah.
Right. But you can make a show that appeals to a kid audience and still like is really intelligent and you appreciate it as an adult too.
My Little Pony writers, take note.
Hey, Anyway, we're not going to get into that because I'm already off topic. But so Cor, let's start with the art. It was new.
I described it, I think, better than I've seen anyone else describe it.
Okay.
This is what it looks like if you went into Miyazaki's nightmares.
Well, I think the nightmares would be scarier, but...
Okay. Actually, no, what? Just Miyazaki's head, period.
This
is Miyazaki's head.
It was... I like that they changed it up. That's something that a lot of studios wouldn't bother to do, change the art style for their flashbacks.
Maybe we should turn up the volume a little bit. We're getting kind of quiet.
Yeah. I've never really had a complaint about the art of Korra.
I have never had a complaint about it either. It's the art of Korra. The art of Korra is generally very, very good.
Very good, and especially when we get into the martial arts stuff, as we said before, the choreography and everything feels very
choreography
fluid,
and art, I have to say, has never been a problem for me about Korra. The story has been, but
the writing. There's a lot I want to say about the little details of how you do dialogue, and maybe I'm more sensitive to this than most people, but it still weighs on you, even if you don't really know, what's wrong. You can sort of feel that something's wrong. There's a lot where, so Juan gets, banished out into the forest, which they call the spirit wild, which I find funny because the only wild that exists is full of spirits. So you just call it the wild, people. Like there's no need to distinguish further, right? Little thing like that. And then he steps on a frog and he's like, oh, who's talking? Because it's yelling at him or whatever. And he looks down and he says, oh, it's just a little frog. And then the frog gets out from under his foot and it goes, who are you calling little? As it grows to like 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't say, oh, it's just a little frog. You wouldn't use the word little the first exclamation. Because you can see it,
Unless you're trolling the frog.
Unless you're trolling the frog.
I mean, he clearly heard it talk, so he probably knows that this is a spirit. In which case, he's kind of a dumbass for insulting a spirit after he's, seen or heard. He lives with, Captain Treebeard.
Yeah. Well, then again, Captain Treebeard isn't much of a threat, so he probably isn't understanding how bad these people are. But, okay, so then later it's Rava and Vatu are fighting. By the way, I love the visual design on those two.
Oh, yeah.
They're not, just a freaking badger snake or something. It's something new. It's really radical. Thank you.
Yeah.
So they're fighting, and before we see them, a bunch of spirits are running away, and one's like, the almighty spirits are fighting. Now, you would not say that sentence on a run. You would say, crap, run! Even to say the great spirits would make more sense than the almighty spirits. When you're running, you conserve syllables.
Well, do they need to breathe? Spirits always kind of struck me as kind of a fae type thing, the little folk that operate under their own rules and logic. Okay, you can say hi to them, but not on a Thursday, or they'll curse you so that your first baby will be made entirely out of pudding. That's
pudding,
the kind of shit. That's kind of the shit that I expect spirits to do.
Yeah, I know, but there's a certain realm of they're doing a weird thing, which is clearly meant to be a spirit thing. And they're just, speaking in a way that doesn't quite work. And freaking Fargo is calling me. the town of Fargo. Yeah, no, I get spam all the time from random towns.
Yeah, me too.
But you know, maybe that should be our next movie. All right, but
The man who received plenty of spam.
No, I just meant the movie called Fargo.
Ah.
But that could be the sequel.
But okay, the story itself wasn't that bad. I mean, it showed Juan. I liked it a lot. It had some problems, but
right, so,
like the fact that okay, they had some nice callbacks, like the moves when he was learning firebending.
Yeah.
Was the dancing dragon from The Last Airbender, Book 3, Fire. Although, you know, I thought that humanity was supposed to have learned bending styles from a bunch of different sources. Namely, the moon and ocean spirits taught humans how to bend water. And the badger moles taught them how to bend earth. In fact, that's pretty much how Toph...
That's how Toph did it. I guess
yeah, she learned from, okay, here's how badger moles did it.
Yeah.
And they're like the first earthbenders. In fact, that was part of the Cave of Two Lovers. Oma and Shu, the two lovers, learned earthbending from the badger moles, and they became the first earthbenders.
Right, though granted, well, yeah, wait, they were they did say first, did they?
Of course,
it could be a legend,
it's been 10,000. Yeah. It could have been like 10,000 years old.
I mean, yeah. So I looked at this thing, and yeah, they're doing some interesting myth making. I like the idea that Rava and Vatu, if one of them dies, it's born out of the other, so like they can never really finish their struggle. Like that sounds like a properly weird mythic type of thing, you know?
And it makes
type of feeling.
And it makes sense.
Yeah.
It basically states that neither good nor evil is absolute. That you can try as hard as you can to destroy them, they will never be ultimately destroyed because
it fits in with an Eastern thing of permanence, I guess. It's not really the word for it. It's cycles, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, which
so
the Avatar Sphere is based
forever,
off of.
And the Avatar Sphere is based off of that, too. So that was cool. I liked that the lion turtles featured prominently, because he showed up at the end of the last series.
This makes it feel a lot less Deus Ex Machina, because it establishes further that they've known how to give bending abilities to the humans for a long time now.
Right, and it gives you the sense of mystery, like, wow, who are the lion turtles exactly? Where did they come from? You know, and there's a greater sense of a world. Isn't that kind of cool?
What did they eat? I mean, we didn't see them moving around.
They probably just like suck up energy from the earth or something.
Yeah,
like super mystic.
Yeah, probably.
Either that, or they've been devouring people this whole time, and that's why the world's depopulated.
Yeah, you know, actually, that wouldn't really surprise me that much.
Yeah, well, it kind of would. Why would you? Well, all right. We're gonna get way off into a bunch of tangents there, but
that's unusual.
Like it's unusual for us, but all right. So they had some neat ideas. The execution though, the lot of little details got at me, especially when you could see that there's potential here, and you could have polished it to make it make more sense.
Forget the Korra stuff. I would have loved to see an entire series about Juan learning to be the first Avatar.
Yeah, the Legend of Juan or whatever.
The Legend of Wontons, and the first Avatar's quest to become the first Chinese chef.
That would be interesting.
Oh, come on.
But,
behold, I have developed the art of frying bread into unusual shapes around chunks of meats.
It would be like bending it into shape or whatever. What was it? The bread making anime? I gotta watch it sometime.
Japan,
right.
Well, I think. I've only read the title once at the back of a manga.
Alright. Anyway, but let's discuss some details here. So, the deal is everyone lives on the back of this giant lion turtle, and they go out once in a while to, like, hunt for food and stuff.
Where did they get food if not from hunting?
Did they have agriculture? I don't know.
Yeah, and what kind of agriculture would survive on the back of a giant turtle?
What kind of anything would survive on the back of a giant turtle? But you could put dirt on top of the turtle, I guess.
Okay, yeah, but how does the dirt replenish itself?
Yeah. Lion turtle, give us the elements of fire so we may go get a wheelbarrow full of dirt and bring it back. They just got like this quarry of dirt, you know, and there's just like people just shoveling up the dirt.
I mean, with the earthbender turtle monster thing.
Yeah, I could probably.
That could work, but.
But so then it's
maybe this tale, if this tale was meant as like a parable, like, kind of a legend that was taught to children.
But then you could dismiss it. But it's supposed to be the spirit of Wan talking straight to Korra. Like, here it is from the lion's mouth, as it were.
Okay, here's another thing that really bugs me about that. Wan's the first Avatar, right?
Yeah.
So that means that he was probably present when all the other Avatar spirits were there at the end of Season 1, right?
Yeah.
Book 1, right?
Yeah.
So why did he not go, hey, Korra, forget about this learning energy bending thing and forget about giving Bei Fong her metal bending back. Who gives a shit about that? What you need to do is prepare, because in like 6 months, there's going to be a convergence that will cause the end of the world.
Yeah.
And what's worse is those fire sages knew all about the convergence and were like, yeah, it's happening in a few weeks.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Why? Okay, no. Okay, why? Okay, here's what they should have done in Book 1. I want to go to Republic City so I can get a really unemotional, unlikable boyfriend and learn how to play bending ball or whatever. Pro bending.
Yeah.
No, Korra, you have to stay here, you stupid idiot child, and learn how to make sure that the spirit of darkness doesn't turn our entire planet into a ball of magma.
Yeah, because she had plenty of training time. You know?
There's been like months and months since the end of that thing. Shouldn't the Avatar spirits have been going, hey, Korra, by the way, I don't know, maybe you should prepare for the demon invasion.
Right, and I could say, like, oh, maybe it's harder to reach back all the way to the beginning, but you think Wan would have told the next one, would have told the next one. Like, this is the most important fact you could possibly tell people. By the way, there's a harmonic convergence coming up at this date.
And there's people who know this in the real world,
right.
So why haven't they contacted the Avatar and told her this?
Yeah.
This is like this world deserves to burn.
Like, Korra shows up in Republic City and makes that speech, and it's just like, in the newspaper, the Avatar reveals herself in Republic City, and the next day, the Avatar has to leave now to deal with harmonic convergence. Never mind.
No. The first day is like, Avatar decides to goof off and play sports with a bunch of yahoos instead of saving Earth.
Yeah.
Sales of bunkers go up 900%.
Bunker salesman. There's a hardy breed.
I'm imagining Tarlock or whoever Varric.
Varric would be up on
bunkers.
That. And
you want a bunker? I got bunkers. Here's a deluxe bunker. It has honey and bears
and movers. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so why this never came up before makes no sense at all. And you could easily fix this. What if harmonic convergence is an unpredictable event? And it happens roughly, every few thousand... No, it would happen because Vaatu is, like, bursting his prison from the inside, right? Nobody knew how long it would take him to regain his strength, and it turns out, oh, wait, he's busting out, so now is the time. And it would make sense that she'd never been told because nobody knew it was going to happen.
Okay, but this brings up another question.
Yeah.
Why in the fuck was Unalaq what is Unalaq's motivation? What does he stand to gain from this? Okay, I'm going to open up the gates from the North and South Poles.
Yeah.
So that we can go really quickly between the two. Okay, except for one problem. You have to walk past... Vaatu's giant spirit cage, and if he comes out, he's going to be a ball of rip and tear.
So I'm almost certain he's trying to do the, there should be a name for this trope, but he wants to use Vaatu's magic for his own machinations, you know what I mean?
Okay.
He's probably got some sort of spirit thingy that, like, sucks out the energy, and then he can become, like, the dark avatar, and he can pwn people.
Okay, but why would you want that? It's openly stated he plans to destroy the world.
Right.
I mean, granted, it's like kind of the Eastern destroy the world, or even the Western one. People like say, oh, I'm going to destroy the world. What they really mean is just destroy civilization and, damage the biosphere a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't really see much in the way of actually destroying the world.
Except with Darth Vader involved.
Well, yes, I was going to say that, but actually that was Tarkin. Grand Moff Tarkin who actually ordered that.
Yeah, Vader was just standing there.
Warhammer 40k has some of that planetary destruction, some cyclonic torpedoes. I would have started dropping into the spirit portal just every so often. Hey, Ko and Vaatu, suck it, bitches! Close the portal! Close the portal!
Yeah. Okay, let's try and tackle this in order a little bit because. So Wan's like a street rat. Hey,
wait a second. I just had another thought. I'm sorry, but...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, remember when Aang, back in the Siege of the North, said, I need someplace very spiritual?
Right.
Okay, so instead of taking you to the gateway between Earth and the spirit world, instead we're going to take you to this koi pond we happen to have in the backyard.
Well, we did get the impression that the spirit forest is somehow outside the city, like by a distance, and they were under siege. So maybe, but they were only under siege from the water, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
They weren't under siege from the other side, so I don't know what's up with that. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have done
retcons.
The fire
making plot holes since whenever they were invented, or whenever someone next says that they were invented.
Yeah, if I were the Fire Nation, you'd come in from the other side, march up to that forest, burn it down, a bunch of dark spirits will pop up and pwn everything.
Run away! Run away!
Okay, alright, but actually, take it from the very beginning, because it happens that Korra is been pwned by this terrible monster. We still don't know exactly how their logic works, but then she loses her memory, and she's washed ashore. And they're in the Fire Nation, right? They're all wearing red, and they bring her to this pool of water that they have. And I'm like, you don't have a fire? I'm sorry, but I kind of expected you to meet your own aesthetic. That'd be like this cool mystic flame type of thing that wouldn't actually burn you, but it would be
like
spiritual.
This guy is surrounded by fire, like what the Fire Lord has.
Right, yeah. And then you could stand in the middle of it, and the fire
or be laid down in the middle and let the soothing heat, melt away your troubles. A sacred sauna would be nice.
Yeah, why do they have a freaking water in the Fire Nation?
They still need to drink.
Silly.
And how do they clean that? If Korra was down there for hours and hours, first off, they had women there. Why didn't they, get her in just some more suitable clothes? How long has she been wearing those clothes for? They've got to stink by now.
Years and years. She's got to.
And do they clean that water every so often? No, set her into the. Oh God, that's standing water. There's mosquitoes everywhere. Do they just occasionally boil it?
They are firebenders. They probably could easily boil it and then just let it all settle back down.
Do they have migrant workers from the come down and scrub the walls and they just not tell anyone about that?
Yeah, that's the weird thing about mystic stuff is nobody, it always keeps itself clean except when it's supposed to be dirty because of the ages that have passed. But anyway, so she goes into the mystic thing and she, meets.
Oh my God, you were right earlier.
What?
It was 20 minutes before she got her memory back.
Yeah, it was. Frick it. At least it took 44 minutes from our perspective, but yeah.
Oh, God. Korra, forever subverting any attempts at character advancements.
I know. You can't just leave her in a bad position for a long enough time. Anyway,
have her Have her get her memory back later, and have her ashamed at how badly she took her job as an avatar seriously.
Have her develop that because she did struggle with air for the entire book 1, but when she got it back, it wasn't a revelation type of thing, or it wasn't she learned how to be more air-like in her spirit, It was just, frick you, air punch,
No, it was, don't touch my boyfriend,
man, alright, so she talks to Juan. Juan's like, hey, I'm gonna tell you everything that I could have told you earlier. But
and how did that make her memories come back?
Mystic water, I don't know, but...
No, screw you, no, mystic water. Mystic water, screw you.
I don't know. But so it starts off, and everyone lives on top of this lion turtle, and they think that they are the only humans in the world, and the rest of the world is covered by spirits and forests and stuff. Which is weird, because they can talk to the lion turtle, and you think they might ask him, are there any other lion turtles? And he would say yes, because presumably he knows about them.
But heck, you're not even asking about other lion turtles. Just asking, are there other humans that don't live on your back?
Right, yeah, just what do you know about the world? And then you could tell them something about the most important spirits in the world, Rava and Vatu. So he would know this crap before he encounters them.
I kind of get the sense that the lion turtle didn't give a crap. In some cases.
But that doesn't make sense if he's losing his body to keep them alive, and he gives them he even shows mercy towards Wom when he gets banished. It's supposed to be the lion turtle does care. It's just the writers didn't think of all the other ways he might have helped. Just by giving knowledge.
The attitude of the spirits doesn't help once Juan actually is out in the wild. It's like, oh, humans are always destroying the environment. Yes. You want to know why they're destroying the environment, King Julian?
Yeah, we're just going to call him that, yeah.
The thing is, your world is a death world that makes Tuchanka look clean and fuzzy. Yeah. It's full of monsters that will suck out your soul, possess your body, and grass that will suck you down into the earth.
Yeah.
It's trying to murder us, so we have to murder it before it murders us.
Also in the fact that they're going out there to get food, and there's no indication that they're being like, greedy, and they're taking the sacred food when there was like regular food that's available, or that they've set up a coal-fired power plant and they're like polluting everything. It's just, no, we're hunting. We need to eat. And so it's like, why are the spirits so mad about it?
Don't bring into this vegan arguments about how, we don't need meat to survive. Well, no.
You could, that would be a fine thing to do if, let's say, most people in this city were vegan and only a few dicks. Or if the story made it clear that veganism was possible because there's enough, cultivatable land to make agriculture, and then people decided to get greedy. That's what I'm saying. Something morally wrong that the spirits could complain about. And we
never got a sense that these guys were just hunting for trophies.
No. They were kind of, dicks, but they were getting food for their people.
We are getting food.
Yeah. Mostly for the chews, but still, they were getting,
Yeah, so then they were going like,
the city needed food.
Yes, you're all dicks because you need food. And that other thing humans need, water. Oh, you're so privileged and you want to destroy the world. Piss off. Don't act like your shit don't stink, Julian.
I understand they're not trying to portray Julian as like, perfect god or whatever, but it would be nice to get like a better impression of
counterpoint.
A better counterpoint. When Juan does his morally upstanding thing of sparing that one deer, it would have been nice to previously establish we're killing more deer than we need, It's actually a red elk. It's freaking Princess Mononoke.
I know. I was about to say that. Except it's not a red elk. It's like a It's like a mountain lion red elk.
Yeah. And then they go to there's a bathhouse for the spirits. Basically, they're spirited away right there.
Yeah, and I swear one of the spirits looked like those soot monster things from Spirited Away too. Yeah. Except it was green.
But if you're gonna take inspiration from anybody, that's the guy to take it from.
Indeed.
But so he makes friends with the spirits. Which happens kind of quickly, but whatever.
Well, it's implied that he was there for like 2 years.
Well, no, but he makes friends and therefore stays for 2 years. And this is funky. He's lived among the spirits for 2 years and has never heard of either Rava or Vatu. You think that would be important.
Well, if you lived with us for 2 years, we probably wouldn't have mentioned God too much. I mean,
someone would have mentioned it at some point. Those people.
I mean, you and me, and like our circle of friends. We're not like overly religious.
I
mean, we're not like in Star Trek where they have to launch into expo speak about every new thing that happens.
I know, but
yes. Do you remember the first time someone achieved warp travel? Yes, I remember it clearly. Here's the history lecture about how that happened, even though we both know it clearly well.
No, but this is more like living in the Star Trek verse for 2 years and not knowing that warp travel has been invented. Like, it is a present fact which encounters day by day. You know what I mean? Rava and Vatu, not only are they the creators of the universe, but they're kicking the shit out of each other every single day and causing earthquakes and crap, and you think someone would mention it. I mean, it was just... And then he finds them fighting, and I'm like, oh, is that the good spirit of light and the evil spirit of darkness? yeah.
Color-coded for your convenience.
It's just kind of lame, but like...
Well, it's interesting because the Avatar universe has a lot of Eastern mythology tossed into it.
Yeah.
And in the Eastern mythology, white is actually the spirit of the color of death.
Yeah, though not necessarily evil, though. It's not like a direct flip. Because it's...
Yeah, I mean, what?
Depends on which flavor you're going for. Obviously, the yin-yang is all about these two things that are in balance, neither good nor evil, Well, if you want which would have been interesting.
Yeah. Also, I have a little tangent about this relating to Mass Effect. You continue.
Okay.
But yeah, Rava and Vatu.
Vatu. Yeah, I was...
Did anyone else get an Aku vibe from Vatu?
I hadn't thought. I'm not seeing a lot of Aku really because I haven't seen
Samurai
that show.
Jack.
I know, yeah, but I haven't seen much of that show.
Yeah, Aku rocks. He was voiced by Mako actually.
Oh.
The same guy who voiced Iroh originally before he passed away.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's a thing.
That's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so they're fighting, and this gets back to the dialogue bit, because Vatu's like, free me, she's had me enslaved for 10,000 years. And then they tussle for a bit before he finally, actually frees Vatu. there was plenty of time for Rava to say, "No, human, he's evil," and she doesn't say it.
Yeah, you could have this really nice back and forth thing. Like she could say, "Well, he's evil. He's planning to destroy the world," and he could say,
"That's a lie."
or better yet, he could say, "I plan to change the world. Free me, and I will help make it better for humans."
Yeah, he could lie. He could say, those humans are being mistreated.
And then he flies away and saying, "Ha ha ha! I lied. I'm a dick."
That would be really cool if they were sort of locked and whatever, and they had a full discussion where they're both being, where it's a very clever sort of a thing, and Vaatu comes up with something very clever and tricks, and tricks Juan. Mm-hmm. Instead, it was this moment thing, which was not short enough to justify Rava not issuing a counterpoint.
I was fully expecting this to be that scene to be the origin of where the Avatar got his mentor status as the bridge and the great negotiator.
Yeah. Also,
he would sit down between the two spirits and say, "What is your problem? What is your problem? Let's work out a compromise."
That could be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I thought that was totally what was going to happen.
Now, I knew it was going to happen as soon as he said release me. I'm like, I bet that one's the evil one, and then we let him go and we doom the world and it's a Pandora's box thing. Yep, we won.
Yep.
So anyway, he does that and Rava's like,
also,
frick
have you noticed how bending at this point in time seems to affect the spirits a lot more than it does in the future?
Yeah.
Remember the first time we see the dark spirits and they're throwing fireballs and rocks around and they're doing jack all to the spirits?
Yeah.
And yet, Juan starts throwing fireballs and he's able to blow huge chunks off of Vaatu and
Rava. The way to remember it is that they blend. Actually, you can call it Ravatu, which I would say is the origin of the universe. Anyway, so that would be cool if they brought that up. Not that it's really necessary, but yeah. So this thing wasn't fully developed. Then he finds the lion turtle with air not nomads yet, air people. I like the arrow was not quite an arrow yet, because it's so far in the past. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was a nice little touch.
Yeah.
I also like that it wasn't that they were riding wind; they were riding little clouds, showing that this is an unfinished version of true airbending.
Yeah.
Maybe what that means is that the people could earthbend before, but it wasn't the refined and perfected state that they learned from the animals.
So the two lovers got it straight from the animals. That
could for example, that was actually that could have been hinted at with, or maybe it was hinted at when Juan learned firebending was the dancing dragon from the dragons, and then he was able to easily take out the hunters who had firebending powers.
By the way, I'm glad to have another firebender who's not freaking evil.
Yeah, and heck, none of the firebenders were really evil. They all had reasons for doing what they were doing.
Yeah,
the colonists just wanted to live away from the greed and corruption that existed on the back of the lion turtle.
Yeah,
the hunters just wanted food. Juan,
he wanted to help those same colonists before he got banished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Anyway, so he talks to Rava and she tells him that there's a harmonic convergence coming up where she and Vaatu will battle. Okay, several points. Number one, why is it called a harmonic convergence?
All that brings to mind is the elements of harmony fighting Vaatu.
Well, no,
note to self, get on that, artists.
It sounds scientific to me.
Harmonic
convergent. Guys, this is my bit, again, about dialogue that I mentioned earlier. You've got to use your words in a way that fits the setting and the exact moment of what's going on. Why don't we call it the final battle, or the time of harmony, or the great alignment, or the new dawn, or something. That would sound proper. Harmonic convergence just sounds like something a scientist guy is pointing out.
It sounds like a Star Trek term.
Yeah.
Captain, I believe it is time for you to interfere in the harmonic convergence to prevent Vaatu and Rava from destroying the world.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Spock. I believe I shall beam down in a few minutes. Hang on, listen. Let me rip my shirt beforehand. No, if it was Cisco, it would just be like, Mr. Worf, fire all phasers. I blew up them both.
Right.
Humanity will have a chance to expand without spirit interference for the next 10,000 years.
Yay.
Cisco is awesome.
So then, so the next point there is, what the frick is harmonic convergence, and what are you supposed to do at that moment? She says it's the moment where they battle. Okay, what happens if one of you doesn't show up?
And what are the rules for, the battle? I mean, you're both spirits. You're immortal.
Well, they're not entirely immortal, because you can, destroy one temporarily, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, so what? Can you... I mean, and they imply that this only happens every once in a while before they're reborn.
Once every 10,000 years is what they say.
No. I meant that they're destroyed every once in a while.
Oh,
it implies that it's not exactly common for one or the other to die in a harmonic convergence. Yeah. So my question is, what are the rules of this battle? Is it to the death? Clearly not, because apparently she's been keeping him imprisoned. Meaning that...
Well, no. In her grip, not in the prison, yeah.
Yeah, so is it that? That doesn't look very defeated for 10,000 years to me. And if her grip is so tenuous on him that a single human, generally, when dealing with magic, humans are kind of the weaklings of their of all the magic races.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about Avatar. I'm talking about generally in fiction. Look at it, elves and dwarves,
I guess,
even biotics in Mass Effect, humans are generally considered weaker to the other major biotic-using races.
But yeah, so
is it to the knockout?
Basically, what is different about them fighting at harmonic convergence compared to them fighting in that random valley? Because you think it would just be the same thing. Now, what we see happen is the planets all align, and we appear to be in the Earth's solar system.
Okay, I really liked that scene. Remind me about it later.
Okay. And then the north and south portal, they converge on each other, and they make like a sort of big arc, like a rainbow shape without the colors.
And then the Titans emerge from their place in Tartarus, and Hades uses them to try to conquer Mount Olympus. No, wait, that's Hercules. My bad.
That's the movie Hercules, even, as opposed to the actual old school myths.
Yeah.
But, okay, so then it makes this big arc, and you're left like, okay, what does that do?
We're in St. Louis!
Are we...
Let's watch a Cardinals game!
Are we supposed...
The Cardinals game determines the fate of the universe.
That'd be interesting. No. I mean, are we supposed to touch the arc? Are we supposed to not touch it? Is it like a super weapon you can use against your enemies? It wasn't clear, and you're like, I don't even know what this and why do you even need to show up? I don't even know. And why, it's just very vague. A little bit before that, Juan is fighting Vaatu. I did like the Vaatu crazy pink-purple laser thing.
I did not. Here's why.
Yeah.
They gave it the Reaper laser sound effect. Seriously, every time it fired, I heard boom. Oh, come on. You couldn't have picked... You copied that off of Mass Effect, assholes.
I haven't played much Mass Effect, so I didn't know. But I liked that it was not any of the elements. Like, he's completely different,
Okay, I did like it in the fact that it was a laser beam because, laser.
I'm the element of frigging lasers.
Oh, that only happened when Cyclops was the Avatar.
Yes. And so then... Okay, so he's got to merge with Rava. This was weird. Here, I'm backtracking again, but... It's all he goes to the lion turtle. Give me the element of fire. Ding, give the element of fire. Then he goes to the one with air. Give me the element of air. And he's like, okay, but I'm gonna have to give it to Rava so she can give to you. I'm like, oh, you have to go indirectly now because he has two elements. And then I guess Rava gets it off screen, and then she merges with him. And then he does another bit of dumb dialogue where he's like, whenever you go through me, I feel a surge of tremendous power. Like, wouldn't you just...
Innuendo.
No.
I am 5.
But you would say wow, that feels amazing. You'd speak in a more natural tone, Juan, please. But anyway...
It's been 10,000 years. It's possible his memories are a little fuzzy.
Yeah, but I want to see it properly. But anyway, and then he goes to I think it was the Earth one came next. Maybe it was water. One of the two. And
Earth. It was Earth.
It was Earth, and it freaking just taps him on the head. And wait, I thought you couldn't do that. Now you can do that again? Do you guys even know your own rules on how you get elements? But okay.
Maybe Rava took his element beforehand?
I don't even know.
And how does bending work then? Is it at birth the lion turtle just bursts into town and taps a baby on the forehead and just bulldozes his way out to sea again? Is that how this works?
I know, because, by the end of it, it's and then the lion turtles did not give anyone any more elements. and then, without even saying it, apparently bending became genetic all of a sudden, and people inherited their bending, and I don't know how that happened. But okay. And they all made different nations and something. Yeah, so I didn't know the rules were on that. And the lemur guy was telling us if you possess someone for too long, they die. And Rava was saying that during the big battle. I have to stop possessing you, otherwise you'll die. And he's like, no, keep possessing, we're going to do this. And then he doesn't die. And it wasn't clear to me why.
I was promised death, you assholes! I demand a death!
I mean, I guess because he touched the Ark and that gave him, like, superpower or something, but it wasn't clear.
The power of the St. Louis Cardinals flows through me!
It wasn't clear. And then he gets his superpowers, and then he puts Vatu in a cage. Like, he makes a cage thing.
So, it's the same. So, basically, we have the same way of defeating the bad guy as Fern Gully, the Last Rainforest.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, they seal the bad evil spirit monster into a tree.
I remember really loving that movie, and then people tell me in retrospect it sucks. So I have to go watch it now and find out if it still is awesome or sucks. Maybe we should. All right, so he puts him in a cage, and then again you're like, okay, so could Rava couldn't do that previously? I guess Rava plus human makes cage making, and you couldn't. Because it would have been very convenient for her not to grapple the guy for 10,000 years.
Yeah, that would have been awesome, you know? Why not just bury the tree then? Like a couple thousand feet underground. Yeah. No, after 10,000 years, I'm finally... Oh, well... Oh my god.
What?
It all makes sense now. He eventually possessed a woman and gave her incredible power. But she was sealed away till the next harmonic convergence. But since Vatu... Wait, which one was the good guy again?
Rava is good.
But since Rava wasn't around, or she passed down the title to another warrior, another glowing white floating warrior.
Yes.
That means... After 10,000 years, I'm finally free! Time to conquer Earth!
And that, for those of you who don't know, is a Power Rangers reference.
That's Rita Repulsa, man! Rita Repulsa is the next incarnation of Vatu! Yes! I have saved everything!
Oh my gosh. Okay. So
Alpha, Vatu is finally free! Assemble 5 teenagers with attitude!
And one without any hardly personality to begin with. Alright. But okay. But so, alright, so we put Vatu in a cage because we can do that now. Which I guess I'll take that as a sort of, you got an upgrade because it's a combined Rava
It's
human
the Avatar
thing.
State version 1.0.
Rava, it's something kind of, it's still pretty big, but whatever. Then he goes, now I will close the spirit portal so that no person may again physically enter the spirit world to release you from your prison. Several points. 1, why did you use the word physical in that sentence? Again, with me in dialogue. The reason he's using it is because all the fans are going to go, but what about the Avatar who enters the spirit world all the time? So he could be like, no, see, he was just spiritually entering it and not physically entering. It's a word you wouldn't naturally use, but they had to shoehorn it in there.
They say we're sealing the world.
We're sealing the world so no one can get to you. Yeah.
Also, Korra's had access to the Avatar State before, and she accessed the Avatar State to open the spirit portal, right?
Yeah.
Why was it that when she was about to open the spirit portal, Juan didn't elbow past all the other avatars and say, "No"?
I guess. Well, we don't have a precedent. Well, we don't have much precedent for previous states getting to interrupt without your, consent.
Roku did it a whole bunch of times, I think.
Did he? Wait, I have to figure out that because the whole thing with the temple and whatever. All right, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Juan should have done. Maybe Aang should have done that when he. Remember at the end of book 1, you called me here. By the way, there's a harmonic convergence coming up.
Yes. No, we're not going to let this go. Yeah. Juan, you're an idiot, Juan.
It just anyway. So okay. So then we're gonna seal the spirit world away so that nobody can free Vatu. How would they do that, even? I'm not entirely sure. You just made a super mystic jail thing. It's not like it has a key that someone could just unlock it.
And burn down the tree, but...
To the third point...
I thought that the only time Vatu could... wait.
Yeah, Vatu could gain access and take over the world was every 10,000 years at this harmonic convergence thing.
So that's so vague, though, because as soon as he gets out of Rava's grip, he starts screwing up the world. I guess he could just screw it up faster at harmonic convergence or something. And then, why would anyone want to free Vatu? He's not a genie that gives you 3 wishes.
He's a genie that gives you Armageddon.
And he will kill everyone, including you. He's not one of those evil overlords that, like, I'll kill all the good people and then the orcs will inherit the earth. It's like, fricking everything will die.
Including the orcs.
Including the orcs. So, I guess Vatu could trick you into letting him out, but I don't know if he can even talk from inside there. And then, the next point. The spirit world, as far as we can tell, is depopulated. All the spirits seem to live in the human world, and they've crowded it up so much that there's only like maybe a couple dozen human cities on these, backs of these turtles, but they don't hold the whole Earth. So we have a depopulated spirit world with Vatu imprisoned. Then we repopulate it, providing thousands and thousands of things which might decide to free Vatu. And Vatu has the power to trick spirits and make them evil, right?
Yeah.
So now that you've filled the spirit world with spirits...
Now that we've filled the reactor... Now that we've filled Chernobyl with orphans, nothing can go wrong!
Something like that. Except it doesn't make orphans evil. But what do you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess maybe Vatu can't do his mind control thing from inside the prison, but if that's the case, hey, an evil spirit who's just evil for his own reasons could release Vatu. Don't get anyone near him! Don't let anyone into the spirit world ever. That could just be his whole permanent prison type of thing.
And why don't they just strengthen it every, few years? So, when Vatu tries to escape, the mystic bonds are gone, but, I appear to be inside of a 5-kilometer wide block of concrete.
Yeah.
Underwater. With lava surrounding the water. On the moon. Well, I'm kind of stuck now, aren't I?
He just, takes over the moon, and we're like, good luck, Vatu.
And that's where Nightmare Moon comes.
That's where
No, I know. That's how Rita Repulsa got on the
moon. Yay! I know. All right, so then he puts him in this prison, and he's going to go try and make peace between the peoples of the world, who apparently decide to be dicks to each other all of a sudden. Which I guess makes some sense, because in real life, people are often dicks to each other.
Yeah. Heck, we even saw people in the same city can be dicks to one another.
Yeah,
we saw, Chu or Chow or...
The Chews, I think they're good. Yeah, I remember that because they have all the food, and they're called the Chew.
Yeah.
Okay, but so then there's, he lives a couple more decades or whatever, and does a lot of fighting, and probably tries to make the world a better place.
Wait, here's a thought. After he dies, how does this work? Okay, I've decided that I'm going to make you be reborn every time you die, and for shits and giggles, each one of the 4 bending elements will have one person born from there. When was that decided?
Right. Well, this Rava, she's all like, "I'm sorry, Rava, I failed to bring about world peace." And by the way, I do kind of like this idea that a human being sort of achieved an avatar state. He became badass in his own way. He merged with some sort of greater spirit, and combined, they produced this avatar. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, I like that.
But in the meantime, and okay, so Rava's like, it's okay, Juan, because we will be together for all your lifetimes. And I'm like, wait, is that a thing? Does everybody get reborn? She talks about it like it's totally normal. Of course you're gonna get reborn, and I'll be there. Does
this mean Sokka's walking around again?
Yeah, is that... I mean, we always had the impression only the Avatar is reborn, which I was expecting then to have something about life and death and the magic that controls that, and, they find a loophole so the Avatar can be reborn. And that didn't happen. It was just of course that'll happen. Ding. And then, when Rava is reborn with him, apparently Rava is mute or something, because there is no more speaking Rava from now on.
Yeah.
Is only just the Avatar.
Retcon, make shit up.
We gotta wrap the rest of the lyrics of that song at some point. So that was just kind of vague. And then by total coincidence, first off, total coincidence that when he meets Rava, harmonic convergence is only a year away. 1 in 10,000 chance that was going to happen. And
wait, you mean Korra meets?
No. When Juan first meets her, he releases her.
Yeah.
And then she's all like, harmonic convergence is coming. When? In about a year of your time. So yeah, 1 in 10,000 chance he would have broken her death grip at that moment.
Yeah.
So close to the deadline. But then also, even smaller chance, it turns out just as Korra is learning about harmonic convergence, the convergence is only a few weeks away.
And even better convergence, now we need you to get to where you need to go very quickly. Fortunately, we've been breeding sky bison here at this fire temple, instead of where they would logically be at an air temple.
Yeah.
Because sanity. We've never heard of it.
Wouldn't it have been great to give some foreshadowing to that? Someone could be like, "Oh, Sky Bison, yeah, the Fire Temple have really done a good job with that," or something. Just a little something would have been nice. And Korra immediately has all her memory back, and she goes off to the harmonic convergence that no one told her about for no reason. And you know what? Honestly, Korra, you're better off just staying there. Because as I understand it, harmonic convergence requires that both portals be open. Yeah? If you just fake death for a few more weeks, and if it requires the Avatar State to open the northern portal, there will be no convergence.
Woo!
So that'd be amazing. I'm keeping Vaatu sealed in his prison. How's that? By lying around on this beach. I have to keep it up for 60 more days. I wonder if I can handle it.
More daiquiris, man. I'm going to need to be good and blitzed for this.
Yeah.
No, I get he could probably come through like the other portal, but
it's very vague again. It's vague.
Explain the rules. And how does this random woman from the Fire Nation know about this? Why was this never explained to you earlier? Why was this never a thing that, Juan popping up and saying, "Hey, look out. There's something coming in a few weeks that you should really be prepared for."
Right. Okay, so again, it should have been...
Oh, and now we have proof that Unalaq was lying. It wasn't that the South was spiritually out of alignment.
No, yeah.
It was the fact that it was close to Vaatu breaking out of prison.
Yeah. So at least now we could definitively put aside all his anti-Ferris wheel claptrap. Why the spirits are only appearing in the South, I don't know.
Although they're not, we saw Korra get attacked. Maybe it's just that's close to a spirit portal.
Yeah, but...
Although how they're getting through, if there's...
if the portal was closed...
Do they have, ways of getting through?
Yeah, how do these portals work? How does anything
and we
work?
see spirits appear in the real world all the time. The Painted Lady and Hi Bye, the panda monster.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the times the Avatar spirit comes around and says hi to Aang. Yeah,
I guess that makes a little more sense, because it's not like the Avatar spirit is sitting around in the spirit world. It's in his heart, practically. It's like he carries that with him. But yeah, just the rules are not entirely thought out. And then just randomly, when he's trying to stop spirits and man from fighting each other, someone's like, he's using all 4 elements. And I'm like, how do you even know there are 4 of them if you've only seen one?
Yeah, there are dozens of ways of measuring what elements are.
Right, the Chinese had 5.
Yeah, then there were others that had 6. There were, and they included metal and wood in that.
Yes.
There are others that include light.
Light and dark, which we basically got in Rava and Vaatu.
Heck, look at Pokemon. It has 20 elements.
Right.
Some of those aren't really even elements, like dragon or fairy.
Yeah.
And my personal favorite is the periodic table of the elements, 118 plus.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk how we...
Still my favorite XKCD comic. I'm the Avatar. I'm the master of all 4 elements. Hi, I'm Mendeleev. I'm master of 118 plus elements. Whoosh. That was polonium bending. You didn't see or feel anything, but the effects of radiation sickness should be setting in shortly.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go over how we would fix this. I'm going to say, first off, harmonic convergence does not come on the clock. It is, in fact, let's not even do... Why do we even have a harmonic convergence at all in this story? Let's think about that. How's about Vaatu is just running around being evil, and we go fight him, and, imprison him. And there's nothing to do with the alignment of the planets in any way. And then the reason why this comes up in Korra's time is he's breaking out of his prison. Because a sufficient amount of time has passed and he's been slowly cracking the walls all this time and nobody ever realized it. Ding! You don't need a convergence at all. Right?
Also, although I do have to give Mike and Brian one thing. They showed what the solar system looks like in this universe, and it is different. It proves that this is not Earth.
Okay.
Like, the third planet had rings.
Okay, see, I just saw a planet with rings, and I was like, is that Saturn? I didn't pause.
There were 2 different planets with rings.
See, I didn't even look. Okay, so good for
I
them.
did, because I like astronomy.
Yeah, all right, I should have looked.
Yeah, I want to know what this planet is called. It's clearly not Earth.
Yeah. The last Earth planet. I don't know. I'm trying to make a pun. I'm doing very bad. Okay, so no convergence. And while we're at it, you know what? Let's subvert the basic good spirit, bad spirit thing. Why don't we? I mean, why can't we have they've been telling us from the beginning we need to bring balance to the world. Maybe it was originally balancing 2 opposing forces.
Yeah.
In some way.
Do that.
In fact, yeah, let's have a white and dark energies of some sort. Maybe they're called spirits, but they're not entirely conscious, and someone is trying to throw it out of whack for his own purposes, and that would be
Unalak.
Well, Unalak eventually, but like Vatu in the backstory or something. Rava and Vatu could be sort of child spirits of the greater spirit or something like that.
Okay, I like that. I tend to have a bunch of different belief systems just rolling around in my head, just for fictional purposes. One of them has 2 gods. One of them a god of light, of order, but he's also the god of death. And then there's a god of chaos and destruction, but she's also the goddess of life. And freedom. So have something like that. Have the 2 spirits embody both positive and negative aspects of something, not just good and evil. That's just too simplistic.
Right.
Avatar: The Last Airbender showed that there are many shades not only to good, but to evil as well.
Yeah.
You had good Fire Nation children, and the Fire Nation were demonized by the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And you had Earth Kingdom generals who were gigantic sacks of dick.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be the good guys.
All right. So, let's see how we would do this. We would have... So instead of Rava, you have some other, a spirit who happens to be unique but is not all powerful. We'd have potentially she's dealing with Vatu in that own way. They could be just pretty much the same encounter, except we don't have that bit where she doesn't bother to mention a more clever way to trick Vatu out of his prison type of thing. Maybe Vatu's just in prison and he frees him thinking he was oppressed, and Rava's not there to say no, you moron.
Wait, I think I've seen this game. You get an order saying that you have to deliver a pizza to the prison, and then you take it there, and then the Brickster breaks out of prison, and you have to construct the helicopter to fire pizzas and donuts to guide the cops and the Brickster into the right place so he gets captured.
Yep. That was such a cool
Lego Island!
Lego Island, even if it was full of glitches, it was the fun type of glitches.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Alright, so...
Oh, once I had a glitch where I was in the helicopter, and suddenly I was running into people in the sky, and they were just walking.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say, alright, so there's the light and dark, I'll just call them, we'd have cooler names for them, but they're elemental forces, that are even beyond, they're the grand elements compared to, the material elements, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the grand elements, they need to be balanced, otherwise it'll frick up the world. And there's a particular part in the spirit world, which is the plane of balance or whatever, kind of like that battleground we saw, but we'd have, the white and the black, and they'd be sort of swirling around each other in a proper way.
Maybe it's I just had an idea. Maybe it's not the fact that they're fighting, I mean, that one has to be dominant over the other. Maybe it's the act of fighting each other, bringing their energies together, that makes it so that they're in balance.
So they're constantly fighting each other, sort of thing?
Yeah, through proxies and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it isn't even that they're trying to defeat each other, it's that they're trying to work off all this excess energy. Without that with the excess energy, they could, grow too confident and too powerful.
Okay, sort of, yeah. I wonder how far we'll take the proxies idea, but at least at the spirit world area, they'd be.
Didn't really think this through, but basically, I just wanted Korra to fight a dark avatar that wielded like a completely different set of elements.
Mm-hmm. Well, that would be the doing of Unalaq, which I think we'll get to in a bit. In the backstory, it'd be they're balanced off each other. They're sort of pushing against each other.
I was thinking like they control different elements, like light, lightning, wood.
The lightning was covered as fire, technically.
I know, but like it would be like from a different human world that had different primary elements.
Okay. Well, let's get to this one piece at a time. Let's say the two things are in balance in the spirit world. Let's say Vaatu is just a spirit who happened to be very evil, and he wanted to frick things up in his own favor. So Rava found him and imprisoned him, and he's been imprisoned, and then Juan encounters him alone, and Vaatu does this whole, this sob story type of thing, let me out. So Juan lets him out, and then Rava shows up later and says, what the frick? And then they go around the world, and Vaatu's doing his bit with making dark spirits and stuff, and he can do that because he gets power whenever things are out of balance, and he's been, throwing them out of balance in some way. And so then basically we get all the elements, and we find that Vaatu has made his way to the spirit world. That's a thing. Suppose the spirit world was originally just the world of the white and dark forces, and then all the spirits and humans were just like different species on the earth type of thing. Okay. Vaatu breaks into the spirit world for the very first time because this is like the ultimate place to send things off balance. We follow him through. We do the merge thing. We imprison him right there in the center of the balance. Let's say.
Yep.
And then the spirits move out to the spirit world, but not that exact part of it. I guess we need to segregate that area. And maybe something about humans being uniquely... it'd be interesting if because it's a human and a spirit working together that put Vaatu in prison, only a similar combination can get him out. So Unalaq is actually going to team up with freaking Ko, let's say. And they have to work together, right? And that's why no one could ever get rid of it, because no one could cross a human into the spirit world, where the prison happens to be.
Okay.
So Unalaq has his plan to get Korra to open up the spirit portal so he can get through, so he can find Ko, so he can make a deal so they can go and frick up the world, and then they get superpowers off of that, and they become the rulers of the world, essentially. And potentially they'll backstab each other right near the climax. And Ko will steal his face.
Nice.
That'd be kind of cool if Ko felt like this was all just a game from the beginning, it turns out. Like, he's playing along because this is a neat idea, but he never really thought it was going to work, and he was just hoping to, get Unalaq's hopes up and then steal his face.
Give me your face.
That would be a nice sort of karmic death for Unalaq,
Yeah.
And then Ko just, retreats into the cave because he's too cool to kill him off, We're going to give him some Joker immunity.
Nice.
Yeah, and that would all make more sense. Pretty much.
Yeah, that would.
It only took us an hour.
But yeah, speaking just purely objectively here, this was the best. These were the best two episodes of Korra.
I like these more.
And it had nothing to do with any of Korra's characters' themes or anything. So the best way to have Korra is to not have it be about Korra.
That's
sad.
It's a little sad.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens next. And now that we're back to actual Korra, I don't know.
Yeah. Weep in fear, my friends. Weep in fear. Also, is this it? One of the things they really built up about this season was that it was all about how, okay, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to fight dark spirits, and we're going to reveal the origins of the Avatar. You've had 3 episodes where you fight dark spirits so far, and 2 episodes, and you just had the entirety of the Avatar's backstory revealed. So congratulations, you've ruined everything.
I would have liked to draw that out if I were planning out the whole season.
Maybe have them be conveyed through flashbacks, occasionally revealed and stuff.
Yeah, well, the way she occasionally had flashbacks of Aang in the first one.
Yeah, like that. Maybe at the end we have it all make sense.
Yeah, there'd be like some critical twist right at the end when we finally realize like what the plan is, type of a thing.
Yeah, I think I'm betting that the plan is Unalaq wants to unlock Vatu for some reason.
Yeah, hopefully it's not just unlock him and hope that this will somehow benefit me. Like I'm hoping he has like a secret plan where he can like use Vatu like a battery and supercharge himself. And then, oh yeah, I never did get around to creating your dark avatar thing. I wonder how that would work.
I'm thinking kind of like the mirror universe where it takes on Vatu's various aspects. It would be kind of like how Rava is not purely good. She has her dark aspects. He's not purely evil. He has his light aspects. So we create like an entire world of humans and stuff, and chooses a champion, the Avatar, to keep the balance and keep them from wiping each other out. Except that they have like different elements like wood and lightning and
maybe.
What are some other elements that are like non-standard?
Sound.
Ooh, sound.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Sound vendors, wood, lightning, sound.
I would say blood, but that's covered by water. Lightning is technically covered by fire. You could go with time and space to some degree.
Okay, that's too overpowered, man.
Yeah, I know. So you want to think of things that are somehow like the opposites of these other things, except they're already opposites to each other. Fire and water, earth and air. Pluto bending. Okay, just wait a second. It's gonna get here.
Oh, like make metal bending maybe like have the advanced forms of the bending be like second nature to these guys, but like the easy forms are like really.
What if you did like
hard,
mind bending? Like you made it all.
Isn't that what energy bending kind of is?
Well, kind of.
Yeah. See,
if someone was like creating illusions and stuff, like that's entirely different from actually moving stuff around. So that'd be pretty unique. Or you could do something about the role of balance, and so this dark avatar would be like the exact opposite of balance somehow. Or that makes for two of them, because they're the dark and light sides, and they're both evil in their own ways, type of thing. Could be kind of cool.
Yeah, there's this webcomic, Dominic Deegan. It's okay, but it toyed with the idea of how there was a champion of order and a champion of chaos, and then there's a third guy, the champion of balance, who just has to keep both of them from destroying the world.
Yeah, we think about this more. I think we come up with some more detailed ideas and all this. And we have to explain the rebirth thing and being reborn in the Avatar sequence. So you have to make something more fundamental about how life and death works in this world. That could be good and interesting. We get to think about that. And yeah, I was hoping there would be a heroic sacrifice. Actually, it would make total sense. The first Avatar gets himself killed.
Yeah.
In a way that accomplishes his mission, and then he's reborn.
Or it doesn't accomplish his mission, and then Rava says, "Oh no! You're not getting out of it that easy, punk. You're going to continue doing this until all the evil in the world is gone, as your punishment for unleashing Vatu.
Yeah.
You will do this over and over again, across 1,000 lifetimes if necessary. And this is the story of Korra, the last Avatar."
Whoa, that'd be weird.
Yeah. Not a good ending for it.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So I guess we said what we can about these two episodes.
Yep. Still the best out of all of Korra. In fact, you could probably watch these without watching the rest of Korra, and they'd still be good.
Yeah.
It could be just like a short mini movie about, the first Avatar.
Yeah. I wonder if they had planned that, actually, and then they just incorporated it into the series.
Yeah. Weird.
Possibility. All right.
Well, I'm Sith King.
And I'm Sonic Sons.
And we're signing off.